All right, thanks so much. Well, it's time now to answer your legal questions. You can call us now, 256-536-0077. And William, with our friends at Timberlake, League and Brooks, now joining us this morning. There's a lot to talk about, so thanks for being here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
Let's talk about holiday travel safety. That's a big one.
Yeah, so, there are going to be a lot of people on the roads this holiday. They're anticipating it's going to be almost record-setting.
Okay.
Given that there's still some residual issues with flights and the shutdown and different things. So, step one, plan to have additional time to get to where you're going. It's going to take longer than you anticipate. You don't need to be in a rush. But there are going to be accidents. Traffic's going to be backed up. And there are some simple things that you can do if you are unfortunately involved in one of those accidents, right? The number one thing is to make sure everyone's okay.
Okay.
Take photographs, okay, because it can be difficult. And remember that when you're the person who's injured in the collision, you have a burden of proof. You have to prove that the other party was at fault. And we use accident reports prepared by law enforcement, but those are hearsay, not admissible in court. And so, it's helpful to have photographs of the vehicles where they were before you moved them off to the side of the road, pictures of what the damage was and different things like that. So, if you're able to, get those photographs. Additionally, you may have been in an accident before, but what happens if you're in another state? The law changes, right? And so some states have comparative negligence where we have contributory negligence. In fact, every state that surrounds us has comparative negligence. And so even where you might think, hey, it's not important, it can be.
Can you explain what that means to people, comparative versus?
So in Alabama, if you are 0.01% at fault, if the collision is at all your fault, you're barred from recovery against the other party. And so in Alabama, there may be a situation where you could not recover, whereas in Tennessee you could because they have comparative negligence. So what that means is if you're 5% at fault for the wreck, you can still recover 95% of the damages.
Okay.
If you're 10% at fault, you can recover 90%.
And it changes
85%.
based on state lines.
Changes based on state lines. And so in those surrounding states, it can become incredibly important to prove, hey, it was only this percentage or it was that percentage. Whereas in Alabama, a lot of times the insurance companies are trying to say, well, you're this much at fault, so you're out of luck. You're just barred from recovery.
Okay, that's interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
It sounds like we have a caller as well. How are you doing?
All right.
Go ahead and tell us your question.
Yes, I have a question. I am trying to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And I just need to know who I would be able to call to get legal help.
Sure.
Because I don't have, I have a limited income.
Yeah. So, there are a multitude of bankruptcy attorneys throughout the Tennessee Valley who handle those types of cases. Now, as she said, what happens if you're on a limited income and there's very little resources available? In that instance, there are some waivers of fees and different things that can occur within the bankruptcy court, but you still need at least some money to pay the attorney. We have a great program here in Madison County through the Madison County Bar Association, where the Madison County Bar Association members participate. It's called the Madison County Volunteer Lawyers Program. And you can contact them, and if you are within the income threshold to qualify, they will pair you with an attorney here locally who will be able to assist you and represent you in that matter. And so, this comes up a lot. There's a constitutional right to be represented in a criminal setting, but there's not necessarily in a civil setting.
Okay.
And fortunately, here in Madison County, we have a great organization that could help you with that. So again, that's Madison County Volunteer Lawyers Program, and they would be able to assist you through connecting you with a lawyer that'd be able to help.
All right, thanks so much. Well, if you didn't get your questions answered, remember you can always call our friends over at Timberlake, League, and Brooks. And also you have a blog as well if you want to quickly touch on that.
Yeah, feel free to go to our website, law-entry.com/blog. We continually update it with articles that we think will help the general public in understanding more about the law.
Thanks so much for coming in, and
Appreciate
happy
you having us.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll be right back.